My name's Toni Tornell, and I'm the controller at United Language Group. United Language Group provides translation and interpreting services to other businesses around the world that are expanding and need their content translated into multiple languages. We have 7 subsidiaries located in 7 countries, approximately 500 employees, and are headquartered in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So we're always looking for new acquisitions at ULG. We've doubled in size since inception in June of 2016 with the goal of continuing to grow through either organic growth or through acquisitions over the next few years. Traditionally, finance and accounting has been responsible for some of those more back office accounting functions like closing the books and reconciling accounts. But as we've continued to invest in technology at ULG, we're able to free up some of our resources to help the company reach its goal of providing secure and accurate translations and expanding into new markets. So the finance team has been able to provide more analysis and more forward-looking sort of recommendations to leadership, and are able to spend less time on some of those back office functions as we continue to invest in companies like NetSuite and Tipalti that help us automate more of our traditional accounting responsibilities. Prior to Tipalti, we were doing all of the onboarding ourselves. So we were responsible for collecting our vendors' tax ID, name, address, their payment method, and anytime any of that information changed, we were called or emailed and had to follow up on hundreds of those items each month. And of course, when you're taking banking details over the phone or through email, there is room for human error, typing that information incorrectly into NetSuite or into our bank. One of the main benefits that we've seen since this implementation is the time savings. So our vendors now can log into Tipalti and see when their bills are going to be paid, how much they're going to be paid, so they have more visibility. And also, it's helped us stay in compliance because Tipalti is helping us with that onboarding process. Before our vendors are payable, they have to provide their name, address, tax ID, select their payment method, and then any other information that they want us to know, like if they have a specific threshold or currency that they want to be paid in. So it's mainly the time savings that we're experiencing now, and then also far fewer errors, because if someone enters their banking details in correctly, it's their own fault. It's not something that we've done. And then thirdly, it's just reduced the number of mundane tasks that our AP team has to do. With Tipalti, we're now actually saving some money because we've elected to pass all of our transaction fees for wires and ACHs and checks on to our vendors. Prior to Tipalti, we were covering all of those costs because we did not know of an efficient way to charge our vendors for those transaction fees. And then also Tipalti is offering early payments to our vendors, meaning that if our vendors want to be paid earlier than our normal pay period on the 25th of each month, they can elect to be paid earlier for a small discount, and that discount then is split between Tipalti and ULG, and we're generating revenue from that as well. We have approximately 2,000 translators and interpreters that we pay monthly, and they're paid in multiple different currencies located throughout the world. Prior to Tipalti, it was taking us 1 to 2 weeks to process those payments because of all of the manual steps that had to occur. Now with Tipalti, we're only spending about 1 to 2 days each month to process those payments. Our financial close process has been shortened because of Tipalti. There is a sync between Tipalti and NetSuite. So every time that a payment occurs through Tipalti, that is syncing back to NetSuite and using the same exchange rate. Whereas prior to Tipalti, we were reconciling thousands of payments through our bank, and the bank was using a different exchange rate than what NetSuite was using when marking those bills paid. So we were spending a lot of time on our AP and on our bank recs, and now that process is almost fully automated because of that direct sync between NetSuite and Tipalti. It's probably saved us about a day in total just doing the reconciliations through Tipalti versus our prior process through our bank. So we have doubled in size in the last couple of years, and we were not able to stay on top of our AP processes without hiring additional resources. So we were looking for an AP partner that can help us be more automated so that we can continue to grow as a business and double in size in the next couple of years without adding any more additional resources needed to process that AP. So we feel like as we're able to scale our business, we're going to continue to do that with Tipalti and keep our costs the same. Our investment in technology is going to help us be more competitive when we're hiring new finance team members. The finance team members are not just focused on debits and credits. They're now able to be more of a strategic partner to our leadership team because our investment in technology has saved us a lot of time. So they can now provide analysis to management and provide more recommendations and their opinions versus just doing some of those more traditional accounting roles. The implementation experience with Tipalti was very smooth. We had great customer service, and we were having weekly update calls with the Tipalti team to make sure that we were on track to go live by our go live date. Definitely made us feel important during that entire process, and were able to answer our questions and help us through any of the challenges that we were experiencing. The more time that I can spend doing analysis and providing more recommendations to leadership, the better. I don't want to be spending my time reviewing AP. That's not something that's fun for anyone to be a part of. We're trying to move away from that and automate this process as much as we can so that we can have more enriching careers and spend less time on AP.